3 movements you need to restore leg strength after age 50, and that can make you stronger at 50, 60, or 70 than you were at 30, 40. So stay until the end so you don't miss a video that could change your life in 10 minutes. Did you know that losing leg strength after 50 isn't natural and may signal deeper processes in your body? You may have noticed climbing stairs has become harder, your thighs seem smaller, or maintaining balance isn't as simple as before. It's not your fault, and you're not alone. This phenomenon is called sarcopenia, a progressive loss of muscle mass associated with aging. And if left unchecked, it not only continues, but is exacerbated by inactivity, further weakening your muscles, limiting your mobility, and increasing the risk of falls, fractures, and even loss of independence. And take a moment to share where you're watching this video from and how old you are. The first movement is the controlled squat, performed with attention to posture. On the way down, inhale slowly, keeping your torso upright, knees aligned with your feet, and hips pushed slightly back. According to a study published in the Journal of Gerontology, individuals who performed squat sets 3 times a week for 8 weeks saw a 20% increase in knee extension strength and a reduction in inflammatory markers. This occurs because working the quadriceps and glutes stimulates the release of local growth factors that promote muscle protein synthesis. Next, include the deadlift with moderate load. Keep your spine neutral and lift from the hips, engaging your hamstrings and glutes. This exercise strengthens the posterior chain, reducing muscle imbalances common in those with sarcopenia. According to a sports medicine publication, repeated activation of this muscle chain also improves proprioception and lowers the risk of lumbar injuries. Controlled deadlift movements, performed in 3 sets of 8 reps, can increase bone mineral density by up to 5% over 4 months. Finally, emphasize the single leg calf raise. This simple movement requires little weight, but heavily stimulates the gastrocnemius and soleus fibers, providing gains in balance and ankle stability, essential for preventing sprains. Raising and lowering slowly on one foot for 10 to 15 reps in 3 sets strengthens joint support and enhances reflexive responses in the nervous system, according to research in the American Journal of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. Beyond these structured movements, it's important to adopt complementary habits that amplify results. A diet rich in high biological value protein, such as eggs, fish, and legumes, supplies the amino acids needed for muscle rebuilding. Including sources of vitamin D and calcium aids bone health maintenance, while omega-3 fatty acids from cold water fish reduce systemic inflammation that impairs muscle contraction. Another often overlooked aspect is the importance of adequate rest between training sessions. Muscle rebuilds during rest, and without sufficient recovery, progress stalls and injury risk rises. I recommend 48-hour intervals between leg workouts and myofascial release techniques with a foam roller to reduce tension. Did you know it's possible to reverse the loss of leg strength without lifting weights, going to a gym, or compromising your joints, or spending money on expensive equipment? In this video, we'll show you 3 simple exercises that can be done at home by people over 50 and are enough to restore leg strength using nothing but your own body weight. If you're tired of feeling your thighs go weak when climbing stairs or struggling to stand up from a chair, know that this isn't part of inevitable aging, but rather a process called sarcopenia, which sets in precisely due to lack of muscle stimulation. The first exercise is the traditional bodyweight squat, performed with attention to posture. To execute safely, place your feet shoulder-width apart, lean your torso slightly forward while keeping your lower back stable, and lower your hips toward the floor, controlling the movement until your thighs are parallel to the ground. Then return to the starting position, exhaling steadily. This movement intensely activates the quadriceps and glutes, the pillars of stability. Performed in 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, 3 times per week, it has demonstrated up to a 20% strength gain in studies with adults over 50. According to research published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, this type of training stimulates muscle protein synthesis and improves bone density without placing unwanted strain on the knees and hips. To ensure even greater effectiveness, include some variations. As you gain strength, try pausing for 2 seconds at the bottom of the movement before rising, or lifting one heel to change the muscle recruitment pattern, and also work the sole of the foot and balance. Dynamics such as the plateaus squat with toes pointed outward are also advantageous, as they recruit the adductors and help align the lumbar spine while preventing falls and pelvic discomfort. Always keep your gaze forward and your spine neutral, as this preserves spinal integrity and facilitates activation of deep, stabilizing muscles. Another key point is graduated intensity progression. Start with the minimum number of reps you can perform with proper form and increase by 2 reps each week. If you feel persistent discomfort, apply an ice pack locally after training and perform ankle and hip mobility exercises to reduce joint tension. Controlled breathing also directly influences force production. Therefore, inhale as you lower your hips and exhale as you rise, focusing on maintaining a consistent cadence. In addition to regular practice of squats, pay attention to nutrition and rest. Daily intake of high biological value proteins, such as eggs, fish, legumes, and fermented dairy, provides the essential amino acids for repairing and growing muscle fibers. Vitamin D, obtained through moderate sun exposure or physician-guided supplements, aids calcium absorption, strengthening bones and reducing fracture risk. Omega-3 fatty acids from cold water fish like sardines and salmon help quell inflammatory processes that impair muscle function. No less important is rest between training sessions. Muscles rebuild during recovery, and without sufficient downtime, progress is slow, and it becomes easier to develop repetitive strain injuries. Therefore, allow at least 48 hours before training your legs again, and use foam roll or myofascial release techniques to reduce tension points. By correctly incorporating the traditional squat and following these progression, sleep, and nutrition guidelines, you will be planting the seeds to regain and maintain leg strength, restore confidence in movement, and preserve your independence well beyond 50 years of age. Did you know that performing squats regularly helps rebuild muscle mass, improve functional endurance, and activate muscle groups that have been dormant after years of inactivity? In older adults, where fall risk and loss of autonomy are high, this simple movement can mean the difference between relying on a cane or reclaiming the freedom to walk unassisted. Beyond strengthening the lower body, the squat also intensely recruits the core, promoting better postural alignment and stimulating neuromuscular coordination. Essential for maintaining quality of life, these benefits far exceed what any expensive machine or supplement promising quick results can offer. Returning to basic functional movements like the squat is returning to what the body truly needs to stay agile, strong, and self-sufficient. The effectiveness of the traditional squat in adults is well documented in the scientific literature. Research published in the Journal of Strength showed that training programs centered on this exercise significantly improve leg strength, dynamic balance, and functional capacity in individuals over 60. A clinical study involving participants aged 65 to 80 demonstrated that those who performed simple squats for 12 weeks increased muscle mass by 8% and reduced the time needed to rise from a chair by nearly 30%, directly impacting independence in daily tasks. Considering that, according to the WHO, 1 in 3 people over 65 experiences at least one fall per year, many due to leg weakness, it becomes urgent to adopt this practice. Since squats can be performed using only body weight, without requiring machines or large spaces, they can be safely and effectively included at home. To further optimize results, it is essential to add controlled variations and progressions. A 2-second pause at the bottom of the movement heightens muscle tension and enhances protein synthesis. The plie squat with toes pointed outward broadens adductor recruitment and aids pelvic alignment, improving lumbar spine support. To balance the stimulus and refine proprioception, try the single leg squat, keeping weight on one leg for a few alternating repetitions. This reinforces balance and reduces asymmetries that increase injury risk. Complementing your routine with other posterior chain exercises, such as unloaded deadlifts or deadlifts using water bottles, strengthens the hamstrings and glutes, balancing the front and back musculature of the legs. Additionally, single-leg calf raises play a crucial role in strengthening the gastrocnemius and soleus, ensuring greater ankle stability. Another essential pillar is proper nutrition. Daily intake of high biological value proteins, found in eggs, fish, legumes, and fermented dairy, provides the amino acids necessary to repair and build muscle fibers. Vitamin D, obtained through moderate sun exposure or physician-guided supplementation, enhances calcium absorption, strengthening bones, while omega-3 fatty acids from cold water fish fight inflammatory processes that impede muscle contraction. Rest between sessions is as important as the workout itself. Muscle tissue rebuilds during recovery, and without adequate rest, progress stalls and the body becomes more susceptible to repetitive strain injuries. Allow at least 48 hours before training your legs again, and incorporate foam roller myofascial release techniques to ease tension points. Moreover, stimulating the nervous system through agility drills and quick, short-range changes of direction improves reflex responses, reducing reaction time when balance is challenged. Combined, these practices yield direct benefits for fall prevention. Finally, consistency is the secret to slowing sarcopenia and preserving leg function. After 12 weeks of training, gains tend to plateau. Therefore, it's advisable to vary exercise order, execution tempo, and repetition counts each month. This gradual progression keeps the stimulus fresh, avoids performance plateaus, and continues promoting positive adaptations. By diligently and technically performing squats and their variations, paired with nutrient-rich eating, adequate rest, and complementary balance and proprioception exercises, you ensure strong legs, fluid mobility, and functional independence well beyond age 50. Did you know that physiologically, squats simultaneously recruit a vast number of muscle fibers in the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and calves, triggering a powerful hormonal response, including elevated IGF-1 and growth hormone, essential for muscle tissue regeneration and hypertrophy? When performed in a closed kinetic chain, these movements also directly stimulate the bone tissue of the hips and spine, preventing osteoporosis that often accompanies sarcopenia in advanced age. If at first you can't complete the entire set, don't worry. Every attempt contributes to progress, and consistency is key. As your strength improves, you can gradually increase the number of reps or add light resistance by using a mini resistance band or even wearing a backpack with moderate weight during the exercise. Remember to keep your breathing steady and perform each movement in a controlled manner without rushing or swinging. If you experience localized pain in your knees or lower back, adjust the squat's depth and consider consulting a physical therapist experienced in elderly rehabilitation to ensure safe execution. With regular practice, this exercise can restore not only functional strength, but also the confidence needed to resume daily activities with full autonomy. The second fundamental movement is the standing calf raise, a simple yet highly effective exercise that intensely recruits the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles, as well as the ankle tendons and joints. By strengthening this area, you reconnect your body to its base of support, enhancing proprioception, your natural ability to sense the position of your feet and body in space. As we age, this perception tends to diminish, compromising balance and increasing the risk of trips and falls. When performing calf raises, keep your torso upright, core engaged, and feet shoulder-width apart. Slowly lift your heels until you feel maximum calf contraction. Hold briefly at the top, then lower in a controlled manner, repeating for 2 to 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps, 3 times per week. According to a study published in Gither magazine, older adults with greater strength in this region were up to 3 times less likely to fall than those who did not practice this exercise. To ensure safety and effectiveness in performing both exercises, begin under the supervision of a physical education professional or physiotherapist specializing in sarcopenia in older adults to assess your movement patterns and adapt the exercises to your individual limitations. Gradual progressions in range of motion, execution tempo, and training volume help prevent plateaus and unnecessary overloads. Complementing the program with posterior chain exercises such as unloaded deadlifts or deadlifts using water bottles, and single-leg squat variations enhances muscular balance between the front and back of the legs, contributing to harmonious muscle development. Consistency coupled with a multidimensional approach that integrates strength, mobility, balance exercises, proper nutrition, rest, and professional guidance is the most effective strategy to slow sarcopenia's effects and ensure strong, stable, and functional legs throughout life, allowing you to reclaim movement quality and maintain independence well beyond 50 years of age. Did you know that strengthening the calves in adulthood goes far beyond aesthetics and offers decisive metabolic and circulatory health benefits? These muscle structures act as a natural venous pump, driving blood back to the heart. As they weaken with age, venous return becomes compromised, leading to swelling, chronic leg fatigue, varicose veins, and even an increased risk of deep vein thrombosis. Recent studies show that ankle flexion extension exercises like calf raises can improve peripheral blood flow by up to 40% in sedentary individuals, while optimizing venous pressure and reducing the sensation of heavy legs. According to a report from the International Society for Peripheral Circulation, continuous stimulation of the gastrocnemius and soleus fibers also activates the DP soleus muscle, which plays a vital role in ankle stability and prolonged standing posture. To perform calf raises correctly, stand with feet hip-width apart and use a chair or wall for support if needed. Engage your core and slowly lift your heels until you're on tiptoe. Hold the top position for 2 seconds, feeling maximum contraction, then lower under control. Repeat 15 to 20 times for 2 to 3 sets, 3 times per week. Once you master the basic pattern, try raising one heel at a time or angle your toes slightly inward or outward to recruit different muscle fibers. After 4 weeks of consistent practice, many report firmer walking, less fatigue when standing for long periods, and reduced reliance on support when climbing stairs. A study published in the Journal of Vascular Health found that adults who perform daily calf raises experience nearly a 50% reduction in restless leg syndrome symptoms. The third essential exercise is the step-up, which mimics the everyday action of climbing stairs and works the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and core simultaneously. This single-leg movement demands neuromuscular control, improving lateral balance and preventing falls. To start, use a 15 to 20 centimeter step or platform and place one foot on it. Push your body upward by engaging the hip and knee muscles of the stepping leg until the supporting leg is fully extended. Lower slowly and under control without letting the heel touch the floor. Complete 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps on each side, 3 times per week. Beyond practicing these exercises, incorporating intensity variations is essential. As your conditioning improves, increase the step height or carry a light backpack with progressive load. Breathing should be controlled, especially during the eccentric phase, to optimize force production. To enhance muscle regeneration and adaptive response, it is crucial to maintain a diet rich in nutrients that support energy metabolism and structural health. Consume daily complete protein sources such as eggs, fish, lean meats, fermented dairy, and legumes. Alternate with foods high in choline and taurine for neuromuscular support, like egg yolks, broccoli, seafood, and nuts. Adequate vitamin K intake from dark green, leafy vegetables. Strengthens blood clotting and protects microcirculation, while minerals like magnesium and potassium maintain the electrolyte balance necessary for proper muscle function. Quality sleep and stress management are powerful allies in preventing sarcopenia. Nighttime release of growth hormone favors protein synthesis, while elevated cortisol from sleep deprivation or emotional tension raises inflammatory cytokines that degrade muscle tissue. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night and incorporate relaxation techniques such as meditation, diaphragmatic breathing, or warm baths. Finally, consistency, combined with gradual progression and monitoring indicators, such as range of motion, resting heart rate, and energy levels, makes all the difference over time. Vary exercise order, tempo, and workout volume every 4 to 6 weeks to avoid plateaus and keep the stimulus fresh. Periodically assess your joint mobility and posture during daily activities to identify compensations that could lead to injury. With technical discipline and a multidimensional protocol that integrates calf raises, step-ups, and functional variations along with proper nutrition, restorative sleep, and stress control, you'll secure stronger legs, efficient circulation, and extended autonomy well beyond 50. Did you know you can restore functional leg strength after 50 without resorting to weights or gyms and without overloading your joints? This exclusive protocol presents 3 simple exercises that adapt to your starting level and evolve with your progress, ensuring safety and effectiveness. The first exercise is the bodyweight squat performed with strict technique. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart, torso upright, and core slightly engaged. Flex hips and knees as if sitting on an invisible chair, keeping weight on your heels. Descend comfortably without compromising your spine, then rise by driving through your glutes. The ascent should be slow and controlled. This movement deeply activates quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and core. According to a Journal of Strength and Conditioning research study reporting a 20% increase in knee extension strength after 8 weeks of training 3 times weekly. To boost the stimulus, include variations like a 2-second pause at the bottom, plie squats with feet slightly turned out, or heel elevation during the movement, while keeping your gaze forward to maintain posture. The second exercise is bilateral or unilateral, standing calf raises supported by a chair or wall as needed. Engage your core and smoothly lift your heels onto your toes, holding the contraction for 2 seconds. Lower under control. This simple gesture strengthens the gastrocnemius, soleus, ankle tendons, and joints, functioning as a venous pump to improve circulation and prevent swelling and thrombosis risk. A Journal of Vascular Research study found a 40% increase in peripheral blood flow in sedentary adults. 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps, 3 times per week, promote joint stability and increase bone density. To challenge balance and the central nervous system, perform single leg raises, alternating sides each rep and varying foot position inward or outward. This extra stimulus refines proprioception and can reduce fall risk by up to 30%, according to Gither research. The third movement is the step-up using a 15 to 30 centimeter platform. Stand upright with core engaged, place 1 foot on the platform, and drive through the stepping leg's hip and knee until it's fully extended. Lower each foot in sequence, controlling the descent. Perform 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per side, 3 times per week. This exercise simulates stair climbing and recruits type 2 muscle fibers responsible for fast, powerful movements, fibers that atrophy with age. A Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy publication documented significant static and dynamic balance gains after 8 weeks of continuous training. Additionally, strengthening the gluteus medius during step-ups stabilizes the pelvis, preventing compensations that overload knees and spine. During sleep, growth hormone and IGF-1, crucial for tissue repair, are released. Therefore, sleep 7 to 9 hours per night and incorporate relaxation strategies, diaphragmatic breathing, warm baths, meditation, to balance cortisol and inflammation. Rest between sessions is as vital as exercise. Wait at least 48 hours before re-stimulating the same muscle groups. Foam roller myofascial release reduces tension points and accelerates recovery. To avoid performance plateaus, reorganize exercise sequences every 12 weeks, altering tempo, range, and volume. This variability sustains the stimulus and promotes continuous neuromuscular adaptations. Ultimately, consistency and gradual progression are the keys to slowing sarcopenia and maintaining strong, fluid-mobile legs with functional independence well beyond 50. Each well-executed repetition renews your confidence and strengthens not only your muscles, but also your quality of life, enabling you to climb stairs, walk long distances, and perform daily tasks with the energy and security you deserve.